Hallå allesammans, stannar man vibration positiv. Hej frekvensen, hur mår ni? Jag mår bra. Jag har lite nyheter som är gamla nyheter, ungefär 5 dagar gamla nyheter som ännu inte kommit upp på nyheterna i Sverige. Det går inte att lokalisera någon nyhet om det i Sverige. Och det är nämligen det här, jag ska visa er lite. Om ni kollar upp det här ska vi se. Gå in på YouTube. Så. Det är nämligen drönare i USA. Vi kan börja här.
Federal agencies that the drones are harmless. Communities there still want answers. WGN's Sean Lewis is joining us now with the very latest. Sean.
Yeah, these sightings began in New York and New Jersey just last month, and now we've gotten reports all along the eastern seaboard. While many of these are being called drones, it is clear that some of the videos are of airplanes on approach to land at an airport, including videos we've gotten right here at WGN. The FBI says there is no threat, but that has not stopped people from doing what people do best: talk. What's in the air?
People just don't know.
Tonight, a Connecticut lawmaker calling on the federal government to say more about the objects caught on camera flying over several U.S. states.
Without facts, we lead to speculation. And speculation leads to uncertainty and potentially fear. And we cannot allow that.
I am going to...
On Sunday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said he has requested that drone detection system known as the Robin be sent to New York and New Jersey, the center of the sightings that began in mid-November.
The government knows what is happening. They know where it came from and where it went. And for some reason, they don't want to comment. And I think they'd be better off saying what it is. Our military knows and our president knows. And for some reason, they want to keep people in suspense.
I want to assure the American public that we are on it.
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas Sunday on the federal response.
I want to assure the American public that we in the federal government have deployed additional resources, personnel, technology to assist the New Jersey State Police in addressing the drone sightings.
These, of course, are nothing new. It was late 2006 when a sighting over Terminal 1 Concourse C at O'Hare drew international attention.
I think it's great. I don't know. It's something different, you know. It's about time they finally found one.
Several United employees at the time reported seeing a frisbee-shaped object hovering over the gates before disappearing into the clouds.
If they say they saw it, I think they saw it.
Air traffic control said at the time that they never saw anything on radar, and it was chalked up to a weather phenomenon known as a hole punch cloud.
This is a sketch of what they said they saw.
The WGN archives have loads of UFO sighting reports, including this one from the 1970s, and report.
Despite assurances by federal agencies that drones spotted on the East Coast are harmless, communities there still want some answers.
Sean Lewis joining us in the studio now with the very latest on this. This is getting a lot of attention, Sean.
A lot of attention over the last several weeks, Pat and Dina. Whether they're drones or planes or some other object flying in the air, what's being caught on camera, mostly in New York and New Jersey right now, has caught the attention of the feds and beyond.
Is that present?
Joining me now, Michael B., an experienced drone pilot and CEO of Terror Talk. Michael, big welcome to you. And thankfully, you sent us some video from one of your spotters in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And we're going to pull this up here and show our viewers there's a big red dot. There you see it, kind of dead center of the screen. What do you think that is? What do you think people are seeing in the skies? And why only at night?
At this point, I think that someone knows what they are. So what we're doing is we're going to go up and watch you. You're watching us or you're doing whatever. So we're up there watching, we're following, we're trying to get in the air. What they could be, I have no idea.
Okay. We have more video that you sent us of you, in fact, trying to launch a drone, and it was right near an airport. So tell us what happened there and why it's so noteworthy.
Okay, so we got reports last night that there was a lot of drone activity in the East Hanover area, which backs up to Morristown Airport and all that vicinity. So we head out there. We set up in a parking lot about a quarter mile away from the airport. And I'm trying to get flight clearance to take the drone up and see what this other drone is, and I cannot. Restricted. I tried to bypass it. At one point, it even asked for my phone number. And I said, no, I think we're good at this point.
Okay, now hang on. When you say looking for flight clearance, how does that work? I mean, are you literally talking with a control tower, or what are you doing?
So there's an app that you use to connect to the drone. When it's time, when you want to fly, you press a button, and what it does is it looks for flight clearance or restrictions. And what happened was there was a restriction in that area, and I couldn't get up, but there were drones in the air that weren't following the restriction. Now, we verify everything above us with flight radar, so we can tell if it's an airplane or if it's not. None of the things that we go after are on flight radar.
Okay, so what we're looking at, this device notwithstanding, this control for your drone, if drones are getting into areas without clearance by the FAA, is it possible they figured out some kind of a technology to keep their drones from being jammed and or losing power?
Absolutely, absolutely. I don't know if you're aware, last week or so, 2 weeks when this started, I tried to take my drone over Picatinny Arsenal to follow a drone that was just hovering over there. And as I got closer, my drone lost power, spun out, and the battery died, and it went down. But the other drone remained sitting in the air, unaffected.
Why? What do you think?
No. Secrets that the government don't want us to know, and they're playing stupid. Either that or aliens.
Oh, come on. Not the latter. Okay, you're smiling. All right, I'm glad. All right. So are there enough restrictions for drones? You're a drone user. Are those restrictions taken seriously by your colleagues, your friends that are drone users as well? Or is more regulation needed? And if it went out there, would it be followed?
I think people are always going to find a way around the regulations. I don't think the average user can get around it because without that app and without that clearance, your drone will not go in there. It just sits there with a red light. So if they did more restrictions, I don't know that they would be followed.
What do you make of the number that the FBI says of all those reports they've gotten? 5,000 reports, fewer than 100 or so warranting further investigation. What do you think would warrant further investigation or exploration? What is it that would pop up that they'd say, yeah, we got to look at this?
I would start with drones hovering over military bases, which I live right next to, and I watch them. They go back and forth. They leave for a little bit. They come back. They hover around. Nothing happens. No one does anything. They just sit there and watch them hover in the air.
But you don't know that those aren't intentionally there, right? That they have been cleared.
Could be. We don't have information on drones. When I go onto a flight radar app, I can only see whatever aircraft is registered in the sky at that moment. And drones are not part of that.
People have, at least Secretary Mayorkas, he had suggested before yesterday that these were all fixed-wing aircraft, these dozens and dozens and dozens of sightings. Now he's saying mostly that, but there are some that are just drones. What's your expectation of this? If it's fixed-wing aircraft, why is it so hard to tell the difference?
So I believe the misconception is when we say drone, people are picturing like my recreational drone. It's got the 4 propellers, and they can get very large. The drones that we're seeing are like mini aircraft. They look like airplanes, but at the distance they are at, they're too small to be airplanes. They're too small to be aircraft, and they're not on the registration for the flight radar. So they do look like airplanes. And that's what's confusing people because they look up and they say, okay, that looks like an airplane, but it's not. It's a small drone.
Okay, Michael B. This has been super interesting and very illuminating. So thank you very much.
Well, we are learning Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton had to close its airspace late Friday night because of drones flying in the area. Sightings of drones have been reported in several states over the past week, including New York and New Jersey. According to our partners at Cleveland.com, Wright-Patterson Base is working with local police to investigate. Officials say there is no threat to public safety.
Well, and speaking of drones, it's a phenomenon that has people across the country scratching their heads. There are growing calls on Capitol Hill for action, with one lawmaker requesting a drone detection system. The drones even caused one airport to shut down. NBC's Bree Jackson is in Washington with details. Bree, good morning.
Good morning, Dave. So these unidentified drones have been spotted across the Northeast, with a significant number of them seen in New Jersey as well as there in Ohio. Now, lawmakers say right now they
Ja, och så vidare och så vidare. Så här går nyheterna, men det är inte ett ljud om det här på svenska nyheter. Och det här har pågått ju sedan 5 dagar tillbaka. Och det är det jag tycker är lite skumt, att inte svenska nyheter tar upp det här. Jag har sökt på det, men det går inte att söka på det på svenska nyheter. Det är lite skumt tycker jag. Eller är de så jävla sega här i Sverige? Ja, det var väl allt jag hade. Adjö.